Get to the chopper now! What makes me even more excited is this RC truck today. With a simple reason is that this is something you don't see very often. So nowadays, if you're going to be looking around, you can see cars, RC helicopters, all kinds of cool stuff. But trucks, that is something you don't see very often, and the Action actually has one for cheap. So I just needed to check it out today to see how it is, how is the configuration and the overall quality. So first of all, so it comes with some manual. So let's see, ZD Trading is actually one of those companies that actually sells a lot of stuff through the Action. I do wonder if they sell in different kind of countries or different kind of configurations. So where these things are all made in China, I'm guessing this is the importer, and for your country it can be slightly different when it comes to the overall, let's say, importer. But nevertheless, let's take a look at the quality. So the first thing I did notice that they improved the remote because this thing is so much bigger. This is more like the authentic old school RC car remote. Unfortunate, they're still micro switched, but I must say that it will not spoil 100% of the fun. It is like a different way of driving. The overall, let's say, distance between the tiny wheel is massive, so you can feel there is nothing going on between the two micro switches. But let's remove all of the plastics and let's get ourselves a better look at the truck itself. I'm quite flabbergasted to see how good some of these RC looking, despite you're paying like a fraction what you needed to pay many years ago. So the overall configuration is quite simple. This is called cargo transporter heavy duty. So there's nothing going on over here with the wheels, just rolling with the truck itself, and they're like super simply made. Like there is just a simple axle with some plastic rims and rubber tires. And the overall grip, they're not like this sticky type, do have like a little bit of profile to it, so the overall grip would be, I think it's going to be not great. So you cannot open up the cargo itself, so you can see the mechanism they're using is something of a very simple piece of plastic that clicks and locks into, let's say, the truck itself. You can remove it fairly easy. There's not like a mechanism whatsoever. We're not getting any lithium batteries today. Nope, we're not getting any though, because we're going to be needing old school batteries. What is interesting, do have like this tiny space over here, so I'm guessing they will actually just sell this with built-in batteries, or at least like batteries included, so you can pull the plastic and just play, and or like semi like plug and play. So opening up the remote, we're going to be needing some batteries for that. So what I found out interesting is that some of them are going to be needing AAA or AA. It's always depending what kind of like remote or what kind of RC car. I'm using the A-Force battery because they have like a really good reliability, particularly when it comes to the RC, because they will need a little bit of, let's say, a good amount of juice for having a very nice overall acceleration. So for the truck, I'm going to be using the gold Panasonic, but again, like with batteries, you need a consideration that makes like a difference. And of course, the lifespan of the truck or the overall RC, depending how good of the overall quality batteries. So yeah, lithium would be like more convenient, you can recharge them, but yeah, that's not the case over here. We could have like 4 LEDs at the front. Just, it's kind of interesting, like those LEDs are just sticking out of the RC car, like they didn't even put them in the headlights. That would be like a very cool add-on. So that's it. You need to power it on, turning on the RC, turning on the RC truck, and we're ready to go. It will automatically pair, and I am guessing if you have like multiple of these cargo truck thingies, we can just configure like to a certain truck. There is not like a switch, so it will automatically connect. But again, we should like check out if you have like multiple of these RC trucks, if there is any difference whatsoever. So the overall input, like say, the only delay we're actually noticing is in the remote itself, because we do have like a little bit delay when the micro switches clicks. But let's put this thing back together and let's have some fun. So one of the noticeable differences is that this RC truck is insanely fast, like to the point it's like maybe one of the fastest RC trucks I have ever, or maybe like RCs I've ever played with. So this thing is uncontrollable when it comes to, let's say, this tiny desk. We need to put this thing on the ground. So that's what we're going to be doing, and let's see how fast this thing is with and without the overall cargo transporter. Some time ago, I actually messed around with some RCs, and one of them was like really fast, like this particular one, but you can do some really cool spinning. I'm really noticed that this thing is having some insanely like acceleration. I don't know if this is going to be like a negative overall situation for the simple batteries we're using, But so far this thing is freaking fast and I just love it. I'm just bashing into some random stuff. You can see this thing still works, so the overall reliability is pretty good. So yeah, just fun to check it out. I can just do some drifting or some sliding. Actually, it's not like really drifting, but let's put it this way, say sliding. But let's get into the full configuration, and now you will understand that this is just the way how you need to configure it. Now it's like having the right amount of speed, and I think the way they actually like configure this for super fast acceleration, because of the overall transporter at the back, it will take up a little bit of the weight, and you know, overall acceleration is still pretty cool. Well, yep, okay. It actually like fell down or at the side, so that's something you need to take consideration. And I just wanted to check it out outside in the dark. I must say the LEDs at the front are looking pretty cool. So yeah, the overall, let's say, truck is pretty cool, but yeah, this is just like for fun, you know, just drive around, mess around, because I would not go into like say some racing with this particular truck. So it's a pretty cool thing. It's absolutely a fun novelty when it comes to that. So when it comes to the underground, so actually we're having, let's say, the outside with some tiles, and here we're going to be having like a very overall smooth surface. We don't really notice a lot of difference. I think this has to do thanks to the acceleration of the RC truck itself. And this is really fun. So let's go in circles. Let's see if we can just tilt it over, but no. my RC truck is still like having this flipping thing going on. This is how freaking fast it is. So, but the overall configuration and playing around with it is absolutely a lot of fun. I do wonder if you can still find a little bit more RC trucks in the future, because I think this is like a very tiny niche inside of the budget RC. You know, when it comes to RCs, I think it's so much fun to mess around with these things. And where some of them look very similar, you will see there is like massive differences. So the overconfiguration is of course very cheaply made. There is no way of opening this up. I'm guessing if you're having like a more deluxe model, you can actually open it up, maybe put stuff in it and just play around with it like that. However, if you're going to be messing with, let's say, the RC truck for some time, the batteries seems to be holding up just fine, but get yourself some really good overall quality. Thank you all for watching, and it will be great to see you in the next RC adventure.